Sorry about that. This is part 2. So I take the paper clip. And you insert it like so. Once that goes into green, you put it in like that, and then you test it. So that's my computer over there, and this is equivalent to hot wiring a car. You did not hear that from me. So this is the extra pin, because these are 24. This gives you an extra 4 if you need it. So now I'm going to take an IEC cord, the IEC cord, which is AC cord, plug it in, turn it on to see what happens. This is it right here. Alright. You notice there's 3 prongs. One's your hot, one's your ground, and the bottom one is safety ground. Trying to get it undone here. Alright, so you want to do it. Stick it in here. And you want to make sure that switch is turned off. Same thing with arcade games. You want to make sure the switch is turned off if the place is up and running, because if you plug it in with the turn on, you could possibly surge and blow stuff up that you just fixed. So that's in there. Now it's off. So I turn the power strip on, and also with power strips, when you turn the switch off, it's like unplugging the device itself, because it cuts the circuit. So now, since I have that hooked up, and no, this will not cause any harm, I'm going to turn on the switch. As you can see, nothing's spinning, which means now I got to adjust it. So I killed it so I don't blow it up. Alright, so I had to adjust it. So now it should power on with no problem. It might be the other wire, because every power supply is different. Ah, yeah, it is. It's not exactly right next to that one. Alright, so now I'm going to flip it and see what happens. Alright, so now I flip them. Alright, so put that in there. And yes, that looks kind of funny. As you can see, it's now running. It was just the AC cord just out. So now I want to test it the other way because it makes it easier to tape the wires and then cut them. And do not cut them when it's plugged in because you will shock the living snot out of yourself. So turn it off. Wait for the fan to stop spinning. Now, okay, so now I do that, and it still should boot up, or fire up, and it does. So I could take either the black wire to the right or the black wire to the left, but I'm going to take one to the right because it seems easier to use. So now I turn it off. I pull the IEC cord out, and yes, it's just fine to later on the ground. So now I take these and I start cutting, but you got to be careful where you cut. But first, good old electrical tape. Yes, this is rubber. Alright, so I take these. In this case, you take some electrical tape and put them around the wires you do not want to cut. Then the rest you cut away. So, I did the same thing for my arcade board. So this connection right here is for graphics cards. Actually, no, it's CPU. My bad, it's a CPU right on there. This connection right here, on older style computers, older ATX models, it'll actually keep running because the signal to power off or power on also goes through here. So now I got to cut this out of the way. So I move the protective display up, exposing the wire. And I used to cut them real short, but you really don't want to do that just in case you need to add something back to it for whatever reason. So now I start cutting. Here we go. This becomes useless. Now, this one's a little tricky. You actually have to cut the mesh off. Okay, so I got all the wires taped up that I needed. So this will work now without any issue. Now this, on the other hand, this right here, it's bad design. They do this for not any protection, but they do stuff like this all the time. And funny enough, this will actually cause the power supply to get a little hot than normal and blow it out. Now, if I was building a computer for somebody, you do not want to modify a power supply. That's not the right thing to do. But since I'm doing this for myself, I want to take this out so more air goes, in this case, sucks the air in. So you just take a screwdriver and pull this out, keep it. Your fan is still attached because that's different screws. So now you take these wires, and I'm going to put my camera down for a second. Okay. Alright, so now these wires I want to shorten up, and I'm going to attach them together like so. So I already cut the wires. I did this. Put those off to the side for a little bit. Tuck everything in there. And yes, it'll go in there. So now take some electrical tape, like so. You want to put it around these wires. But I want to do it again just to be safe. Like so. Like that. Put that right there, put it right there so that way it doesn't get damaged. Remember, this doesn't need to look pretty. So alright, so that's attached there. All the wires are in. give it a quick shake test to make sure there's no metal in there, and there's not. So now, something's still attached here. Oh, nope. It's just a wire that got cut. Okay. Hold on. So now this was a pain in the butt to get off in the first place here, and yes, that flew out. So now it's back on, and all I have to do is just screw it back down. So okay. Now it's fully back together. So the switch is powered off. Drag your IEC cord over. Alright, so it's plugged in. And as you can see, it doesn't always work the first time. I'll have to figure this out. Damn, this should have worked.